More than understanding here. So while everybody saw that horrible stoppage by Tony Weeks last night, and then really Romero versus the Ishmael Barroso, let's just say this isn't the first time we've seen controversy when it comes to the sport of boxing, especially in boxing. Now, I got a conspiracy theory here, and I've been spilling this out yesterday, so I'm quite sure somebody probably already rushed in, try to use the same shit, but it's all good. I came up with this shit anyway. But the WBA, like other sanctioning bodies, has always been involved in some type of corruption. But I want to make two comparisons. So a couple of years ago, you had Gabriel Maestre, a Venezuelan boxer, versus Michael Fox, in a fight that Michael Fox had dominated, even dropping Gabriel Maestre in a fight. And when it went to the scorecards, it didn't go in Michael Fox's favor. As a matter of fact, I'm not sure if it was a split majority or whatever decision, but the raw guy won the fight. So much so that the crowd booed the decision, of course, and even the commentators got into it and said, yo, this is a highway robbery. This was involving the WBA. This thing had got national attention. The WBA, sat there and I guess try to right the wrong by saying, hey, we could let y'all do a rematch and everything. And then you also had a judge who had got exposed online for racism when it came to talk about the former First Lady and Michelle Obama. But even though the WBA was trying to do the right to wrong, they didn't right the wrong at all, because this was something that should have went to the courts. This is a decision that should have been overturned. And if it could have been overturned to where Michael Fox would have got the nod, they should have overturned it to be a no contest, because that was a highway robbery. Now fast forward. Last night you had Rolly Romero versus Ishmael Barroso in a fight that Rolly Romero was clearly losing. Rolly got dropped early on in the fight. And then we seen Rolly had somewhat of a success, but he pushed Ishmael Barroso down. And Tony Weeks, who happens to be the referee, a veteran referee at that, a guy who's been refereeing a whole bunch of championship fights, well respected, allowed Rolly Romero to do a pushdown and happens to call it a knockdown. I mean, people were already shocked on that point. Then, later on, Barroso and Romero was getting into some exchanges, whereas though Barroso was getting the better of the exchanges. Now, Barroso might have looked like he was off balance, and Rolly Romero threw a punch that clearly didn't land it. Well, one of them kind of landed, but it was more like a push. And he just kind of like, Barroso was off balance, and he kind of backed into the turnbuckle, but Barroso started, he kept swinging, and he was actually connecting on Rolly. So what Rolly did is he pulled Barroso's head down, and the referee jumps in and stops the fight. Shocking. Really shocking. So, this fight was also involved with the WBA. On top of that, I made the connection between a Michael Fox and a Gabriel Maestre with this fight here, because one was robbed by the judges, and this one happens to have been robbed by the referee. Now, ironically, you got Rolly, who's an American, fighting a Venezuelan, and Ismael Barroso. So, in my mind, I'm like, was this their way of trying to right the wrong? In my conspiracy thoughts. Now, when I say conspiracy theory, of course I'm joking here, but it just makes one person wonder, what's really going on? I mean, I know people at the PBC, they like to thank Al Heyman every time they get a win. But really, you might as well just start thanking Tony Weeks on top of that, because he the one that kind of like gave you the belt. He gave you the belt. Even though you were losing, he gave you the belt. I mean, this is even a worse stoppage than I seen that be coming out of the UK sometimes, because some of these referees in the UK, they just stop fights just because somebody's swinging on somebody. That shit is even worse than that. This is crazy. I mean, I thought this was the hurt business, especially in the United States. But unfortunately, we still got to deal with the corruption of the sport. I mean, a lot of fighters, professional fighters, already been tweeting throughout the whole fight saying that Barroso was pretty much robbed in this fight. Barroso was 40 years old, even though the man did look like he was about 60 in the face. But he was getting the better of Rolly Romero. So Ismael, technically, you know, if this fight would have went the distance and if it kept going the same way with Ismael having all that momentum, he would have definitely been the champion. But somebody did not want Ismael to win the belt. Somebody might have said, hey, this fight was not going to plan, and Tony, you got to do something. Something must have happened. There needs to be an investigation in this fight, because this was a horrible stoppage. This is Bold and Understanding, signing off. Peace.